Hello. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Shailaja Reddy. I'm a functional and integrative medicine physician. We are doing a sprouting challenge this week. This is actually a Facebook group created for 5-pound weight loss challenge. We had a very successful weight loss challenge week about 2 weeks ago. Then we have decided to do some sprouting challenge after the weight loss. So yesterday we had a Facebook Live. I talked about the sprouts and health benefits of sprouts. And so it was a great video, and the team from the Facebook Live page participated, and she showed how to do the sprouts. And today I'm going to continue on sprouts. This is just going to be a brief Facebook Live. So what is sprouting? We talked about it, but I just want to briefly review again today. If you're, if you didn't watch the video yesterday, sprouting is basically a process where the seeds and legumes are germinated and eventually eaten, preferably raw, and you could even cook them. When seeds are soaked in water for a certain period of time, they germinate and cause the outer layers to break, tear open, and it allows the young shoot to blossom. That's when more nutrients will increase, and a lot of anti-nutrient substances that are in the seeds and legumes are reduced when you sprout. So that means the minerals and all the nutrients that are locked inside the seed or grain are now released, so your body can easily absorb. When you sprout, the body produces more enzymes, so you can easily absorb the sprouts. So yesterday I showed you all the different sprouts that I usually make, and usual sprouts that we all know are like mung beans. That's a very popular sprout especially in Indian culture. I use it a lot in salads, and but you need a variety because the nutrients are different in different sprouts. So right now in my kitchen, I have buckwheat sprouts and wheatgrass. So remember, when you sprout grains, you get the grass. Actually, buckwheat we think it's a grain, but actually it is not grain. So that's why you don't get the shoots. I'll show you the buckwheat that I have here. So this is the buckwheat sprout that's growing. So this is becoming very popular. You can see the little tiny tail for the buckwheat because it is gluten-free, and it's a very nutritious sprout that is gaining popularity lately because I do a lot of functional medicine food sensitivity testing. Very few people are sensitive to buckwheat in my experience. All the gluten sensitive people, they prefer to eat buckwheat. It's you can even make buckwheat bread also once you make the sprouted bread. Just for the buckwheats, it's a little gooey seed. You just soak and transfer, soak for overnight, and the next morning you just transfer it into some glass container. I prefer glass containers, but you don't have to. You can just use any container, but I prefer mason jar because it comes with a lid. You could even just use the cloth if you don't have a lid. That's fine too, and just secure with a rubber band. You have to rinse every morning and evening. Within 2 days, you're going to have the buckwheat sprouts. So they're really delicious, and you can lightly cook them or just have them like that. The popular recipe for the buckwheat is a sprouted bread, which I'll post on the Facebook page. And of course, it's going to be on my website as well. So right now the buckwheats are growing. When you add a little bit of yogurt to it and just a little salt, you don't have to cook it. Actually, it tastes great after it sprouts, and you can add any nuts or dried seeds. And the second sprout that I have in my kitchen is wheatgrass. This is a container for wheatgrass. This is a wheatgrass container. You can see it. It is still not grown. A little bit grass is there. This is you don't need soil for the wheatgrass with this container. I used to grow the wheatgrass in a soil. That was a little messy process, but this is very easy. I just rinse it with under the tap. So it's very easy, but it takes about 5 days to get to the stage of the wheatgrass. And now this is day 3 actually. For the day 3, you can see how quickly the roots are formed here. So you can see all the roots, so you got to be careful with the wheatgrass because it tends to form mold. So obviously you don't want to eat the mold. So buy a good quality seeds when you're doing a wheatgrass. And wheatgrass is actually detoxifying. It contains a lot of chlorophyll, so it helps to get rid of the toxins. Anything that helps with the detoxification, it helps with your liver. So because liver is basically our filter, right? So you should focus on the detoxification. This is just one of the things we do. You feel very energetic once your toxins are out of your system. Obviously, you're going to feel energetic, and it improves your cognitive function too. And it's an excellent beverage when you're doing fasting or when you're on a detox protocol. And if you're buying, a lot of people buy the wheatgrass, and make sure it is a trusted supplier. If you're making it home, the seeds should be good quality ones. And some people actually complain that when they take the wheatgrass, they develop nausea, headache, and upset stomach. It's most likely actually symptoms from the mold if they don't buy a good quality wheatgrass. But just do it slow, very small amounts, and see how your body feels. Each person is so different. So what else today? Actually, I wanted to mention that I have like a special person who taught me a lot of things about the sprouting. She's amazing. So the stars and the popular people are not just the Hollywood and Bollywood stars, and there are several stars just among ourselves. Here, this is Sita auntie. She is just like a mother to me. And every time I go there, she teaches me something or the other, like a very delicious foods, and I just go to her place, basically to eat her food. Today I requested her to come and just say a few words because we learn a lot from elderly people. So they have so much talent. Every time I go her, I learn something new from her. And today when I called her, she said she's doing making compost at home. I'm like, oh my goodness, that is such an interesting thing. In the winter time, when there is so much snow outside, she's making compost, and she's making good use of all the scraps, from the kitchen instead of wasting them. So I learned a lot from her. She agreed to come and just show us her techniques of sprouting. We all should learn from each other, because they have so much experience and knowledge. You don't need any culinary degrees to do all these things. It's experience counts the most. So I'm going to welcome Sita auntie here. So she'll show us her tips on how to do the sprouting. Hi, auntie.
Namaste to all. I'm going to show you.
Ask if you can show.
I can show now.
Yeah, you can show, auntie. You can show.
See, I make sometimes I make the sprouts, different type of sprouts at home. I have a bottle bought by Shaila.
Oh.
She gave me this bottle. This bottle, plain bottle, and at the top you can see the net-like thing. Net-like thing.
Yeah, there's a mesh.
Mesh is there. So you can soak it in this water bottle and put water till it's on the top and cover it for a day. Next day, what you have to do, you can drain with this. Straight away you can drain from there. Then all the water goes. Then again clean it and again fill the water. 2 days. Afterwards, you can remove the water. Full water you can remove. Nothing will be there. Then you have to see and little. You have to stir it and little. You have to do that. And it sprouts come after 2 days. Sprouts come. Then when it comes, again you have to sprinkle water. If water is not there, means you can open this and sprinkle the water. Then cover it. Like that you have to do 2-3 days. Afterwards, big one comes in this. I have seen that. The sprout is so big. So it is very good. Shaila only gave me this bottle. I was doing this every day. This is the best way to do. If you don't get this bottle, you can do some other ways. Put it in the any vessel you can put it water. Keep it in the water. After 2 days, the same process. After 2 days, you remove the water and put it in any vessel and cover it with muslin, or you can tie it in that. Put the sprouted one here and tie it and keep it on the top of vessel. And whenever you can, next day you open it and sprinkle water. Don't pour water, sprinkle water, and they again cover it. 2-3 days it will come. All the sprout will come. And
so that is another method, right, Auntie?
Another method.
So when you use the mason jar, you don't use this cloth.
No.
So
mason
okay.
Jar, inside only it comes.
Okay. So they don't need to have any jar.
But those who not having that, then they can do this method with the muslin.
Okay.
Muslin, the cloth, it comes fast.
You
get the same thing, no? Big long sprouts you get.
Right.
Another thing, this you can put it this vessel, and here with paper towel or our towel, any towel you can put, and put it in the whatever grains you are putting, spread it over and sprinkle water every day. It will also come.
So what are the usual sprouts you make, Auntie? I know you make a lot of them.
Whole moong dal.
Moong dal, okay, yeah, we all do the moong dal sprouts.
Black-eyed peas. And the brown chickpeas.
Okay, small ones. Okay.
This only 3 we have.
So do you sprout them until they get the leaves, or just a
little longer?
Little ones. Okay. Some people tend to do it until they get the leaves. You know, the different benefits when you soak them.
Little long, means 2-3 inches. Then we will take it. Either salad we make or dal we make. And onion, tomato, and all you can add.
Okay.
And make a dal like things.
So do you generally don't cook with them, or you like to?
No. Only last minute before making dal, fry the onion and whatever the spices you do. Then last minute you put it, only boil it and let it.
This is like chaat basically.
Yes.
You make it and
overcook it.
You don't
boil and remove it from that.
Okay. Good.
That also good. And salad is very good. You can put all the carrot and all the vegetables you can put, lemon you can put, salt, and that is also very nice.
So you make the salad and you make it like a chaat and add the sprouts at the end. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I put sometimes the coot and all. Whatever I make vegetable, I put that also. I cook.
Oh, good.
Last minute I'll put that.
Okay, you would. Yeah, that's great, because the sprouts contain a lot of nutrients, like vitamin C, especially all these water soluble nutrients. You don't want to cook them. And anytime for the audience, when there are enzymes, all these enzymes are destroyed beyond like 110 degrees or 120 degrees. So you don't want to cook them. You want to make use of those enzymes because they help with the digestion.
Yes, correct. Last minute you can put whatever you are cooking. Last minute you put and to cover it. That also is possible.
So you do it in the outside, right? On this in the winter time, and you don't make anything.
Winter time inside it will come. Inside also it will come. Water 2 days you have to soak in the water. Soak it in the water.
Okay.
And remove the water.
Okay.
After 4
so I cook like with the chickpeas and all. I make it like small vadai and all. That tastes good also like that.
Longer time. 3-4 days you have to soak it in water. But every day you have to remove the water.
Okay. Yeah. That one. Otherwise it gets moldy.
Because my smells, bad smell comes. So you have to nicely rinse it and remove the water.
Okay.
On 4th day, 5th day, you can see this coming down. You can see that sprout you can see.
Right. Yeah, it germinates. Right.
Okay, thank you, Saila.
You're welcome, Auntie. That's very nice. Thank you so much for explaining it to us.
Yes, I learned from you only.
No. I'm learning a lot from you.
When we came to your house, you sprouted and you showed me that and bought me 2 bottles.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're making use of it. Yesterday, Shri came here and she also showed me the bottle. Just for the audience, I used to conduct raw food parties in Boston area. So one week we had, that was about like 12 years ago, by the way. So that time, for everybody who came for my party, I gave a sprouting mason jar as a gift. So they still have it after 12 years. I'm really surprised. What's that long? They're all keeping it. So I'm so glad to hear that. So that's nice. So you don't have to buy the bottle, but it's convenient if you have it. So you don't have to remove the lid. You can just put it under the sink and rinse it. So that's a convenient thing to do. So any questions you have, please post it on the Facebook, and we will talk to you again. I mean, we will communicate on the Facebook tomorrow or day after. So this is a sprouting week on the Facebook. It's going very well, and I see all the great posts there and all the recipes. I'll share my slideshow presentation maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow with all the recipes that we have on the Facebook page. Thank you so much. Enjoy the sprouting. So Shri, there is a question here on the chat. Where do you get the container for wheatgrass? I got it from Amazon, Shri. So you can look at it. Actually, this has got a lid. I didn't bring the lid here. So it has 3 parts, like, the base and this one, and there's a lid, but I use the lid only in the initial stages. Afterwards, I just wet the tissue paper and put it on the top here. So there's just looking at the chart to see whether there's any thing. Oh, where do you get the wheatgrass? I'll share the link. I know a person who sells the wheatgrass to my friends, but there's even Whole Foods sells the wheatgrass. You can buy it from the Whole Foods, and there are a few people that I know of. They're all in the raw food community, so they sell the wheatgrass. But I usually make mine. But in fact, they say that to make the wheatgrass juice, they use the juicers, but I don't have one. I just use my blender. But you want to make sure that it shouldn't get too hot, because that wheatgrass contains so many precious enzymes. So if you put it in the blender on a high speed, it'll get too hot. You might lose the nutrients. So that's another caution. So a lot of my friends who are in the raw food group, they use the wheatgrass juicer. So I guess that's it for today. Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you again. Thank you, Sita Auntie.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye, everyone.